Fuck, det så nice ud, Rasmus. That's the first scenic pistes here, Stefan. Nailed it. Well, this actually seems like a nice place to begin. Behind me is Bjerg. I was born probably an hour from here, but I've never ridden here on my motorbike, and now finally I get to be here. But the reason why I'm here is actually not to ride TET Denmark. The reason that I'm here is because tomorrow with the Ténéré Club of Denmark and the Enduro Club of Denmark, we have the option to try and ride in a military area called Oksbøl. And that's why we're here. That's the real reason why we're here. This is just actually a little extra benefit of being here. Bjerg, famous national park here in Denmark. I'm very thrilled to be here, and we have some very familiar faces with us this time as well. All I hear is complaining.
He's making a suicide brake lever like Jake.
Like Jake did last year in the Balkans.
Yeah.
And we have a new member here, Christian.
Oh.
The brother of Rasmus.
His name is Christer.
Christer.
Yeah.
It will never catch on, so just leave it at Christian.
Christer. Okay, well now that we have that sorted. Nice to ride with you, Christer.
Thank you, the same.
I'm not sure how I feel about having one more Fagerlund brother here at the... But your pace is a little bit more like me and Stefan's and not like Rasmus's, so...
Det är bara gasa.
As always. Good to be riding with you again, guys.
Same.
We've been riding probably all together 10 minutes of gravel. And already...
He's German, so he has a spreadsheet over the settings for his brake pedal.
and the torque specs, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
All good.
Denmark is, during summer, an amazing and beautiful country. I almost always spend my summer holidays here instead of traveling because of that. But it's a small country and a flat country, which means that it's never really remote and it's never really rugged. There's no mountains, there's no endless stretches of forest, which means that in reality, it isn't really suitable for ADV riding. Furthermore, it's a country with more rules than it has inhabitants. And riding off-road is a big no-no because of the forest police, the noise police, and the environment police. But there's always the exception to the rule. So when I got the chance to ride in a military area that had no rules, no restrictions, and most importantly, more rugged terrain than I might be able to handle, I immediately signed up. As mentioned, we didn't come here to ride TET Denmark, but the route from Copenhagen to Oksbøl via Google Maps is a 4.5-hour highway ride. So instead we decided to check out TET Denmark and took the scenic route to the west coast. We started in Grenaa and decided to ride as far as we wanted, knowing that we wouldn't have enough time to ride the TET all the way to the coast. We drove through national parks with long gravel sections. We drove through a lot of farm roads and a few forest roads. And after 5 or 6 hours, 4 of them in the pouring rain, we drove off the TET and continued on main roads to Oksbøl. Nice. Yeah, well, that's a bit more gravel stretch, few kilometers at once. Those guys having a picnic look really angry. As mentioned, we didn't come here to drive TET Denmark. We came here, where I am right now, to Oksbøl. So behind me is a massive military training facility where armored trucks, armored tanks are usually training the military here. And for this one weekend of the year, the Enduro Club of Denmark and a club called the Ténéré Club has been given the permission to ride in this area, and I'll show you a little overview of how the routes look on the GPS. It looks absolutely epic. I have no idea what I've got myself into here. It's really, really heavy sand. It's a massive area. And I've heard whispers from the guys at the Enduro Club that they thought it was a bit crazy for us to come here on our heavy ATV bikes. But I have Rasmus here, my favorite coach. He's an epic rider, and hopefully he will be able to help me get through this today. We did drive the TET yesterday, and it rained most of it. I had the opportunity to get the camera out for one little clip, but other than that, it was raining cats and dogs all day. And in the end, we opted up, after 5 or 6 hours on the TET, we opted to go on highway. Not highway, but bigger roads here to Oksbøl. Where we are right now, the primary reason why we're here is to get to ride in a military training facility on our heavy ATV bikes. Let's see how that is going to be. Our bikes is a little bit bigger than these ones last behind us.
That's a little bit of a handicap, but I think we'll do just perfect.
Just fine?
Yeah. It's going to be awesome.
Stefan,
Hi, sir.
are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
You got your 2 stickers, one
Yeah.
for today, one for tomorrow.
Yeah. I think I drive in today and then I drive out of the area tomorrow. So give me 30 hours.
Do you think your clutch will make it for tomorrow?
Oh, I don't know. I have a bad reputation.
All right, let's take off. Let's give it a try. See how it is. Let's see if we can start out a little bit light. Ej, inte stanna, Stefan. Fy fan, det är mjukt. Ja.
Han satte sig på slangen och var brunnit ut. Den jävla vattenblåsejävel.
Okay, Rasmus, find en god vej, hvor vi kan køre lidt frem eller rundt i sådan i små cirkler eller noget. Så kan vi lige... så kan vi... Ja. Så kan vi filme lidt deroppe. Fy fan. All beginnings are hard, they say, and sand riding is not an easy thing to begin with. I've never had much practice with sand. Back in Portugal in the previous season we rode quite a bit of sand, so I wasn't a complete rookie. But this was my first time bringing the T7 in heavy deep sand like this. But same rules apply. The faster you dare go, the easier it is. It sounds easy enough, but feeling like you're almost always about to crash takes some getting used to. It takes time for your brain to put that theory into practice. Du kører lidt frem, Rasmus. Inte så mycket spray. Tak. Bare lige stande heroppe. Jeg skal lige have ud kameraet lidt her.
Jag har hittat ett bättre område där vi kan filma.
Ja.
Här. Det är en sån liten triangel där, ser du?
Ja, okay. Rasmus have had plenty of sand riding practice, and his brain doesn't really respond to fear. So of course, he was being our front runner for the day. On a big bike, or any bike for that matter, having someone in front of you, copying off his lines and his speed is a massive help when you feel like you've bitten off slightly more than you can chew. Rasmus's motto in every situation is, when in doubt, throttle it out. And so, he did. And the rest of us, we did our best. I do not, when I'm standing here, Rasmus, I have no idea how you made that jump down landing in sand. How the F did you do that?
Bargasa.
Bargasa?
Yep.
It's proper fun, this.
Okay. Epic start. Starting your big bike in heavy sand is one of the challenges you're facing as a rookie. I find that starting in second gear, dumping the clutch with a bit of revs build up, and then as quickly as possible getting up to a standing position, leaning slightly on the rear, is by far the easiest way to build up some momentum. And once you have some momentum, the main problem is keeping it up, as they say. Lidt mere sådan fast underlag her. As soon as you let off the throttle, your front will start to dig. And when you approach ruts or deeper areas, your first reaction will be to slow down for it, which makes the front wheel dig and most likely will send you straight into a tank slap. Momentum and keeping the speed up really is key, so acceleration through the deeper areas and keeping your weight back is the main trick to riding in sand. Your brain will fight you on this, trust me, but hopefully, like with everything else, it will at one point become second nature. Nej, jeg tror ikke det. Oh. Another problem with riding in sand is fatigue. It is immensely draining when you're not used to it. Down. You fight the bike more than you should, and it will wear you out quickly. So we look for some other challenges and try to find areas with a bit more solid ground underneath our tyres to ride a bit of enduro. Oi! Solid ground under our feet! It is so deep, that sand in there. If this is not the deep sand, I don't want to go to the deep sand. Ja, det her er virkelig fint, boys. This is a nice solid piece of solid ground. Did it lead? It's a bit soft here again. A little dab. Okay, this isn't better again. Still soft though. First follow the tracks. Fan vad nice. We managed to find an area with solid ground and some trails through the trees and bushes, which of course is also quite a challenge on the big bikes. And as if that wasn't challenging enough, somehow I had managed to pull out my microphone, which gave some static noise, the filmmaker's favorite. Ja, det var så lidt min kompis. But the sound crew was too busy handling 200 kilograms of bike to notice the issue. Oi! Ja. We tried to find our way through the terrain. There were some trails here and there, but mostly it just consisted of making our own trails. We did, however, quickly discover that this didn't help much on fatigue, so instead we headed back to the tracks and found a nice bit of sand that wasn't too deep and had some awesome little whoops to keep us entertained. Yeehaw!
Hello! Oh, that was great fun.
Yeah, this was really good fun. Right at the sweet spot to get up a bit of speed without losing control.
And some tag laps along the way.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so much fun.
That was nice. God. Nice little wheelie you did right before the puddle.
Yeah. This place is amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Imagine this in Denmark. Who would have thought?
Yeah. We took a small breather and took in some of the action. And then we drove along and found the competition track that the Enduro Club had been training on all morning and gave that a try. Fy fan, det er stort her. My microphone was still on the fritz, but at least we managed to find some very nice trails with both sand and solid ground that was perfectly manageable, especially after 2 attempts. It took me 2 tries to make it look decent enough for me to accept it for camera. Stefan is doing a bit of video now. For me, I can hear Rasmus. Is that him? Where is he? Rasmus, of course, makes minced meat out of everything. Yeah. Okay, Rasmus, you said you found another spot. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Nice. Let's try it. Rasmus led us down another stretch of energy-conserving tracks. Somewhat flat and with only a few patches of deep sand. Oj, jätteblöt sandet her. Helt tørt. me, I had slightly adjusted to the terrain and definitely felt more comfortable with the flow of sand riding at this point. We are having a hell of a time here. Excuse my English, pardon my English. We're at one of the longer roads, which is just quite soft sand, but still quite a bit of grip. Lots of nice whoops. I feel like we've been almost everywhere in the training area. And it's very, very tough. But not impossible, and you can still manage to have some speed, and you really, really get to learn a lot here in riding sand. If you have never ridden sand, this is a big mouthful to chew, but if you have ridden some sand or haven't, you can also still find pretty good practice sections here. But this is just epic for sand practice. This is absolutely epic. I just filmed the other guys go past here. It's soft, but still with grippy, lots of whoops. Amazing. Can't believe we're allowed to ride here. It's absolutely amazing. This is exactly sometimes what I've been missing in the ADV environment, that you can kind of challenge yourself a little bit more and really find areas where you can push your limits. And this is pushing my limits for sure. What an epic day. We carried on to look for other areas that we hadn't tried out yet, but a much needed proper break and some food was on the to-do list. Before we got around to that, we found another little forest stretch with some nice and easy tracks. At this point, my microphone had completely stopped working. Something that is inevitably going to happen when your microphone is attached to the GoPro with a cable in your helmet, and you spend your time wrestling and sometimes falling off your bike. But the trails were epic, and so, before heading to lunch, I pulled out the big camera again, which thankfully didn't have a loose cable to the microphone. On the track, we met Kenny, one of the Danish resellers of Kove bikes. He brought along a Kove 450 Rally, a bike my good friend Anders had just bought, and I hadn't had the chance to try out yet. Luckily, Kenny kindly mended that and offered me a short test ride.
Get that kick in the butt I got out there.
Absolutely. How do you like it?
It's fucking good.
Yeah.
You definitely feel the less of the weight. I mean, it just takes some time to get used to a new bike. But it's light and it's a little bit more nimble. But it's very tall still, so you have to kind of take that into account. But
it looks sexy. Proper rally look.
comment in the sections below if you want me to buy this bike. Or whatever clickbait we can find here.
After the shortest test ride in the world, Rasmus had another go at a jump, and then we headed for some lunch and a good old rest.
We are having a little bit of a rest here. We've done 66 kilometers, most of it here in the training area. There's a couple of enduro bikes passing me now. A couple of boys here. They're not very old, but they're having a lot of fun as well. We went to the beach before, which was quite nice. Here at the west coast in Jylland, there's a lot of places where you can ride at the beach, but there was a lot of cars. And you're not allowed to do any more than 30 kilometers per hour, but it's still quite epic to be there. There was a lot of cars, and there's a lot of the beach is closed off because it's military area here as well, so we didn't go there. But we're having a little rest before we do our last stint for today here in at the military area here. What an epic day so far. What an absolutely epic day.
After a nice little nap, we headed back out again. Still with an appetite for more sand, but also very aware about how tired we were at this point.
Kommer der mange dernede fra? Hvad? Ikke dernede?
Så kører jeg med at filme.
Hvad siger du?
Så kører jeg med at filme. Helt pullet. Fuldstændig pullet.
Ja, okay. Hvor langt nede? For den ser okay ud her jo.
Jeg kører med, hvis du kører.
Hvad?
Jeg kører med, hvis du kører.
Ja.
Men skal vi stedet og lægge her, hvor
Ja, skal vi ikke bare gøre det så?
Altså, I kan sagtens køre den vej.
Jamen, vi har været inde i alt det her rundt og kigge her.
Den der, det er ren.
Det er puder den vej ned?
Timeglas sand.
Ja, okay.
Virkelig. Ellers så ryger jeg.
Ja, okay.
We decided to stay in one of the areas we had already explored. None of us had the energy to potentially go to an area that would take us an hour to drag ourselves through. So we just had some good old playground to drain ourselves for whatever energy was left.
Det ser lidt mere powder ud her. Oj. Ikke længere den vej. Jeg orker det ikke. Oj. Ja, jeg snurrer. Tjena Christer. Hej du. Ja, der var du. Fy fan, det var fuldt fælt. Nej. Ja, man er blevet vældig sliten. Jeg har rullet det lidt tilbage mod den store midten der, hvor vi var før.
Having spent the last few drops of energy in my tank, I parked the bike and pulled up the camera. Rasmus, of course, was our last man standing. Being able to conserve your energy while riding is the biggest key to being the last guy standing. You can be the fittest rookie in the world and you still can't beat experience. And just to clarify, I'm not referring to myself as the fittest rookie in the world, but you get my point. I could outrun Rasmus any day of the week, but I don't stand a chance when it comes to bike fitness. Eventually, though, he was also craving some time off the bike.
How's this for a playground, Rasmus?
Very nice. I love it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's the end of the end of the afternoon, and I think everybody's feeling a little bit tired now.
Yeah, I think so. The beer is calling us.
The beer is calling, exactly.
Oh.
And look at the guys over there.
Yeah. One's over 50.
Is the beers calling or what?
Yes. What's the time? It's beer time.
It is beer time.
So with nothing left to do other than to shoot a few frames for the thumbnail and making room in the bladder for beer, it was time to wrap up our day at the military training facility in Oksbøl. Because instead of doing one more day here tomorrow, we had made another plan. But first, we had to get out of the military zone and back to our humble campsite.
It's much drier now than before. Oh. It has a bit more sandy feel now. Jeg havde luret. You were trying to overtake me in a puddle. I just knew it. Bastard. What a day, guys. I've never been so tired after 69 kilometers of riding. But as we spoke about, the front wheel has probably done 69 and then the rear wheel has done 120. Just as you thought the ride was over, it wasn't over. We actually found out that the place we're staying for tonight is it's an indoor water park. So we're ending the day off with a hot tub and doing a few adventures on the slides behind me. What a great way to end off this day. It's been an epic day. It was good, very good. What an awesome day, and this is a nice way to end up.
Jeg troede ikke, du var klar. Jeg troede, du var det godt.
Love the smell of fairy diesel in the morning. We opted to do some sightseeing today instead of doing another day at the military course. It is very, very rough to ride at the military course. So the thought of doing that for how many hours and then ride 4 hours back was probably a bit too much, and we did everything we kind of came for yesterday. So today we're taking it to sights. We're visiting Fanø, which is a small island here at Vadehavet, famous national park in Denmark. It's going to be good. There's seals, there's some big beaches that are where you're allowed to ride. So looking forward to that, taking in a bit of sights before we heading for a 4-hour highway road back to Copenhagen.
This is the beach at Fanø. Should we drive down to Sønderho?
Yeah.
Let's see if we can. Oi, neutral. Alle med?
Maybe I was tired from yesterday, Or maybe we had one too many beers, but considering that I managed to hit a neutral on a perfectly flat surface, was probably a sign that a chill ride at one of the most epic beaches in Denmark was more suitable for day 2 than another day at Oksbøl training area. Fanø is a fantastic little small island, where even at high tide, you're almost always able to ride at the beach.
It's crazy how the tide comes all the way up here.
And since it's so close to Germany, during summer it does get quite a few tourists on weekends and holidays.
I've never been here where there's not a million German camper vans.
With the low tide and the lack of German camper vans, it certainly was a lot easier riding here than in the deep sand of Oksbøl. But at least we were able to say we still hit the sand.
This is also kind of sand practice.
And the views here at Fanø, well, that's just hard to argue with. I mean, look at it.
Exactly hardcore sand riding, but it's definitely an experience. What an epic place to ride. Oh, Christian, you had another shower, yet another shower. Jeg får den absolut ikke på støtten. Den bare bliver ved at synke.
Jag tänkte att havet kommer liksom hela vägen upp dit.
Freaking amazing.
It is low tide here at Fanø, so we're able to drive all the way down. It's pretty much hard to see where the actual ocean is. It's here somewhere, it's somewhere out there, but it's pretty much endless here, and we can just go on forever. But what an absolutely epic place to be able to ride here. This is something else, and a pretty epic place to end off this video. It does feel like a really nice place to end off things. What an amazing trip it's been. What an experience it was to drive at Oksbøl at the training camp in the military area. And what an amazing end this is to get to experience riding on a beach here at low tide with endless beaches. Thank you for watching if you made it this far, as usual. Don't forget to drop me a comment. It makes it all worth it to hear from you and all the hard work that goes into making these videos. See you in the next one.